potatoes, so at no point should I look up in my mirror and see flying children being passed around left or right, or being held way up above an adult's head. Now, as we begin our adventure, you can look above your head and see a spotted guide, a long list of animals we may or may not be seeing today, but it will definitely come in handy. I am actually seeing a few bongos crossing our path straight ahead of us. However, we are going to be right next to them in just a moment. I am going to bring our attention over to the right side. We might see the okapi. Now, the okapi is going to be an animal. If you see her at the very top of that hill behind the tree, she's going to resemble a zebra, but she's not related at all. Her closest living relative is the giraffe. Now, what's really cool about seeing them is they weren't actually discovered by humans until 1901. First photo wasn't taken until the mid-80s, and the first baby wasn't found until 2015. Now, over on the left, we are going to see the bongo, the greater kudu. We can tell all of the animals surrounding us are female for different reasons. Even this bird we're passing on the right. We can tell that this bird is a female because some stork females have yellow eyes. And they can stand up to 6 feet tall. Whereas the male just behind her will have brown eyes. So you'll be able to see the okapi a little bit better from over here. And then we can tell she's a female, much like the greater kudu, because she doesn't have any horns. Males will have horns on different sizes depending on the animal. The okapis will have small ossicones. The greater kudu will have horns going 6 feet behind the head. Now moving down the road, I do see a few deep mud wallows. That's because our friend the black rhino is resting over there. Look at the bottom of the river. You'll see a rhino resting just by that white rock straight ahead of us. Directly ahead of us, all the way in front of us. If you're looking out the left side, now she's on. Now the difference between a black and white rhino is not the color of their skin, as it is actually their size. Black rhinos weigh up to 3,000 pounds, white rhinos weigh up to about 6,000 pounds. Now we're going to start moving a little deeper into the forest towards the Safety River, where there are a lot of animals that much rather stay underwater. So it can be very tricky to spot a few of them, but we do get lucky with a large bird species known as the pink-back pelican. Pink-back pelicans, they are one of 9 pelican species. They are the smallest. However, they are still one of the largest flying birds in the world, flying distances up to 300 miles or 24 hours straight. Now, I do see a few just behind this log here. Now they do only turn pink on their back like their name will suggest during mating season, which is just about 2 days out of the year in Africa. But now that we have all safely made it out of the river, we are going to continue our adventure through the Known as the baobab tree, but more famously referred to as the tree of life, because they hold a lot of water, containing about 30,000 gallons on average. Now the trick of the safari and spotting as many animals as we physically can is keep an eye on those closest to our truck. If you see an animal a mile out, that is very exciting. But I like to put it this way, I'd rather see a giraffe that's 20 feet tall rather than an inch tall. So I promise we'll get there when we get there.
Ah, legal. Pode ver o seu Paulinho da Uber?
É. Aí a Carol ali.
Now in a moment on our left side, we are going to be passing by a cave which is often home to our friend, the African painted dog. Now African painted dog, they are very similar looking to their cousin the fox. They're going to have a very slender body with fluffy tails and pointy ears. And they're going to have black and white splotches all along their fur. And even though they are much smaller than most predators, the African painted dog are the most skilled hunting animal in Africa. They do owe that success to their very high endurance because they can chase their prey until their prey drops from exhaustion. Now these aren't hyenas, these are the African painted dog. You can see because they have white spots all over their fur.
Ali, ó, deitadas.
Hyenas just have
Ali,
black
ó, lá
spots.
embaixo.
Lá embaixo aqui, ó. Deus.
As African painted dog.
Mas é uma coisa, acho que é
And again on our left, I am spotting an antelope known as the sable.
Não, filha, depois
Now the sable antelopes are probably going to be the coolest animal we see today. In a situation of fight or flight, most animals will choose flight, except the sable. They're going to choose fight every single time, and they're actually known to win against lions.
É, que esses bichos daqui são curvinhos, né? Tem um uso.
Ah, é. É Nutella.
não, filha, mas por causa do horário, eu tô falando.
Oi?
Horário, calor.
Cheio de leilão.
Now taking this turn, take a closer look at those Hartman's mountain zebras. They're on our left right now, but they're
As
going to be
zebras,
on
as
our right.
zebras, Léo.
And the main question I get when it comes to the zebra is their skin color. There is a correct answer depending on the species. You can easily tell what is the correct answer based on looking at their noses. The Hartman's mountain zebras, they have black noses. That means they have black bodies.
A girafa ali.
A girafa lá em cima.
And then crossing just next to this truck ahead of us, we are going to see a
You, Leo.
Maasai giraffe. Now, Maasai giraffe, they are one of 4 species. They're not the tallest or the shortest, but they are still very tall. When they are fully grown, they'll stand up to 20 feet. When they are first born, they'll stand about 5 to 6 feet tall.
Outra girafa ali, entendeu?
É a mesma, no caso.
Não é a mesma, não.
Oh, no, we are going to be pretty close.
Quando ela saiu de lá e veio
Over
pra
on
cá.
our left. They might make their way to the right. Actually, no, no.
Ah, ela vai passar. Passa, zebra.
Make sure we don't make noises at the animals. On the right, you're going to see some wildebeest as well as springbok. Now, springbok get that name spring because they jump 6 feet in the air, which is pretty common, but also 13 feet forward. When they do that jump, it is known as a flop. They're going to make a jump, kind of bouncing around, making perfectly shaped arches with their body. There are a few more Maasai giraffes over on the left-hand side.
É, tudo.
Olha, mais girafas, Léo.
Olha que legal.
A girafa é muito legal, né?
Olha o peso dela.
Their species. This one here does weigh up to 13,000 pounds. Seeing as they are so large, they do eat a lot of food in one day, up to 400 pounds of grass. Oh, and then on the left, I do see a mandrill monkey. And you can tell this is a male mandrill because he has that blue coloring in his face and his body, and he can weigh up to 145 pounds, whereas females will only get up to maybe 50 pounds. Now this here is another food source of the African element, red clay. As we drive through, you might be able to spot some trunk markings left behind from the elephants eating the clay. Well, that is because there's an elephant over on our left side.
Olha lá, Léo, o elefante lá.
So much so, at the beginning of the century, in the year 2000, there were 500,000 remaining on the planet. 24 short years later, there are only 27,000 left. So not only is it very cool, we can see a black rhino and a white rhino in one location. We're also looking at a 2-year-old rhino. She's the closest one to us right now. She does have 2 older brothers here, but she is the youngest that was born here about 2 years ago. You're going to see them kind of scratching their horns up against that rock because it is kind of like our fingernails. It's keratin, so they're kind of filing it down. tree ahead of me with the blue flowers on it. Just underneath those blue flowers, you are going to see some cheetahs. Now they are the fastest land animal in the world, running between 60 and 70 miles per hour. They can hold that speed for the length of about 2 football fields. They're going to kind of be laying down on the hill there. They're going to do all, if the female lions don't hunt, not a single one of them will eat. There are a few more rhinos over on our right, but we're going to get a much closer look at them in a moment. Don't whistle at the lions. They are lions, not cats.
Não fica nossa brigando com leão, porque ele é leões, não dá.
What? What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Sorry, yeah, sorry. Anyhow, over on the left, we are going to see some more.
Cuidado aí, Léo, cuidado pra dentro. A ver se ele vai vir aqui perto.
Now the ostrich, they are the fastest land animal on 2 legs, running up to 45 miles per hour. Oh, you are going to see it at the very top of that rock there.
Bichinho.
Ah, eu já como é que chama, porco.
And then on the right, a few more rhinos, a little closer to us, for my friends on the right.
Olha os rinocerontes aqui, Léo.
Esse bichinho aqui dentro, se tiver animal aqui, a gente
Now we're going to make our way back to the village towards the Magadi clan, where the horse does live. However, we do often get to see a few of their pets, like the Nigerian dwarf goat. Now they are fantastic climbers, so more often than not, the goats will be on top of buildings, or on vehicles, or just resting down in the grass. If you did want to see more domesticated animals here in Harambe, back in the village at Rafiki's Planet Watch, there is a place where you can actually play with and pet animals, like the Nigerian dwarf goat, cows, donkeys, and pigs. Now the last train does leave at 4:30, so for us to get you there,
As cabras,
what do I have to do before you leave the village?
tem 7 metros ali. E o entre.
Our number one priority park-wide is conservation. That's why the company the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. You can actually walk through and see a bunch of different animals like gorillas, hippos, okapis, and a few different species of monkeys.